Hello everybody and welcome to the Tokyo Joshi recap for the 2nd of the 10th, 2020. I believe this show's called WOMM or something of that style. Don't worry, I don't get it either. Some quick announcements and housekeeping things to get into here before we start. Unagi, Natsumi Maki and Mina all had their contracts expire and they weren't renewed. Last show was their last show, but just making sure this is the record that it happened so that I don't go crazy. After the show, Thunder Rosa vacated her International Princess title, and so there will be a tournament starting on the next show for that title. And this is indeed Marika Kobayashi's return show. Our opening match of the night is Moka versus Mirai. Not a lot to say about this match other than the fact that it greatly went above my expectations, judging by who was in it. Mirai, obviously a rookie, but one of the better ones, and Moka is very, very green right now. So it was a surprise at how well this match was put together, considering. And overall, a very decent match. Just not much to complain about at all, really. Eventually, Mirai locked in a Kimura deep and never let go. Moka was forced to tap out. The next matchup is Hyper Masao, Shoko Nakajima, and Space Ranger Senna versus Miyu, Raku, and Rika. This was a fun and really fast-paced match that did rely a little bit heavy on comedy. However, it's really entertaining and it's well done. We see the classic cold spray spot from Masao, which everyone likes. At least I hope so. As well as a Goodnight Express, where Raku's tag partners forgot to wake up after. The finish of the match ended with Miyu and Senna in the middle of the ring. Senna had Miyu in a Boston Crab, which she escaped to the ropes out of. And then Miyu hit her with a huge chop and did some kind of insane slam thing that I've never actually seen before. If anyone knows the name of this move, please tell me so I can steal it easier. Answers on a postcard, but that is how she got the win. Next up is a singles match between Mizuki and Nico Haruna. This was a decent match, if a bit on the slow side, that was, however, punctuated by a few really good spots. For example, the opening with the go behind that went on forever was pretty good. The countering, the rolling thunder with the dropkick looked great, and the pinning reverse sequence was really good at the end. But otherwise, it was fine. But those spots did really stand out as exceptional. Just needed a bit more pace in the middle, I think. But otherwise, worth checking out for sure. Mizuki got the win with the crossface in the middle of the ring. Haruna had escaped it twice before, but she couldn't get out of it the third time. Your next match is Suzume versus Yuka Sakazaki. This was a match that was really categorized by the people that were involved. Suzume showed great babyface fire throughout the match, putting in a great underdog performance, but ultimately Yuka was too much and basically spent the entire match beating the hell out of her. The finish of the match I cannot properly describe because Yuka did some kind of airplane spin, side drop. Once again, I promise you, this move does not exist, okay? Actually, she did do it in a previous match, so maybe it does exist, but the point stands. Someone name this move. Until someone does name it, I'm going to call it the Spinny Death. So yeah, she hits the Spinny Death and wins. It's a fun match though. Really enjoyed it. Even if it was kind of, you saw the people involved, you knew it was going down. Next up is the semi-main event featuring the return of Marika Kobayashi. She's teaming with Hikari Noa against Makito and Miyu Yamashita. This is a really good showcase match for Marika. She does some really cool spots, a lot of selling. Maki and Miyu have great chemistry as always. And Hikari gets some spots in here and there, but overall it's just very nice to see her back. Probably the most incredible spot of it all is Maki being lifted above Marika by Miyu, mugging to the crowd for about 15 seconds, and then being dropped on her, which really got a chuckle out of me. The finish of the match is Miyu Yamashita hitting a wicked kick to Marika, knocking her out and pinning her. There is, however, some very unfortunate news about this match is that Marika sustained an injury, and so she won't be returning again until Wrestle Princess. Next up is your main event, which was initially announced as Mirai and Kamiyu versus the Bakaretsu sisters. Unfortunately, Kamiyu broke her ring finger, so she has been replaced by Pom. So now it is Mihiro and Pom versus the Bakaretsu sisters, which is of course Nodoka and Yuki Eno. This being a number 1 contenders match, it was very hard fought. A lot of back and forth. I really enjoyed it. I don't think there's anything specific that needs to be said about it, other than it's just a really great match. Everyone performed above my expectations, considering who it is, and overall it capped off a really great show. And now I'm saying all this before I inevitably spoil the finish, where, you ready? Okay, just made sure, you gotta be sure. So Nodoka hits a big fall-away slam, followed by the Unprettier to pin Hiro. I wasn't too surprised about this. The only thing that was lingering in my mind is last-minute replacements tend to actually win matches, but I think in this case, for being a number 1 contenders match, it was pretty inevitable the Bakaretsu sisters was going to win. However, I am looking forward to them challenging Miyu and Rika. I think it's going to be really good, and I hope you'll join me for the next show.